Okay, welcome Tech Field Day 20. My name's Rick Vanover, and this segment here will be introducing Veeam to set up the experience here today for you. So let's jump into it, and thank you for the welcome. And I am wearing my Columbus Veeam office vest. It's gray on black, a little tacky, but it's cool. But anyway, let's get into it. And what I'm going to cover in what I want to call a sub-agenda here this morning is this small bit here. I'm going to give you Veeam by the numbers. I know many of you in the room, but some of these numbers actually might be interesting and maybe surprising. I'm going to give you a brief statement on our vision, what we're trying to do in the market. I think that's very important. We're also going to go through some characteristics that matter, and I'm going to overview the platform, which are products, and then between myself, Anthony, and Michael, we will give a lot more about that as we go through. By the numbers. So Veeam by the numbers might be more than what a lot of people have thought about. We have over 365,000 customers, and just last year, or this year, sorry, we had a rolling window of a year where we have surpassed over $1 billion US in bookings. This is a very important milestone because we think the industry is changing. We're going into this more of a subscription kind of cloud type model, but our numbers are still aligning very well. Carry a very strong net promoter score that does really good in the industry that we're in, which is very important with a lot of customers. That's an important qualifier for that number. Specifically in EMEA, we have new information that states we're #1 in market share there, and then coupled by #4 worldwide. And the company was founded in 2006. So a lot of people have heard about Veeam, a backup company. We're not afraid of that word. That is where we play. I'm going to get more about that in a second. But these are just a couple high-level numbers of where we sit in the market.
Rick, can you say that those numbers represent paying customers?
Yes.
All of those are paying customers?
Yes, paid organizations, right. And there have been, we carry a very good renewals rate too, so there's a lot of retention. But then we also have information, and this is just a reality check, that a lot of organizations carry more than one backup product. That's a reality too. I mean, we live in a world of displacement, but we're doing very well.
So aren't your customer migrating from traditional licensing to subscriptions, or
Yes, more than we have expected too, by the way, which is important. Enrico's question was, are customers moving to that subscription model? And the answer is yes, and they're moving at a faster rate than we had actually anticipated. We're not abandoning the kind of perpetual type of sale. Believe it or not, we've actually had certain situations where it's prohibited to go to a subscription. Best example is maybe a government who actually plans on losing funding. And the thought would be that they can't turn off their access to the product. They'd rather go unsupported and working than hard cut by subscription. But it's going very well. But we don't like talking about that in Tech Field Day. Anyways, what I would like to say about our vision is we have I think, a very laser-focused and clear vision on being the most trusted provider of backup solutions that deliver cloud data management. And this is kind of a loaded statement, but we do not get afraid of the word backup. I mean, we've changed our message a lot over the years. Availability, modern data protection, #1, VM backup, et cetera. But as we've expanded the platform, which I'll get to in a second, this is kind of the theme to stay. Be that trusted provider. And we have some good, data points that are indicating that we're building the trust of our customers and partners. But then as we go into the cloud era, we're going to need to do more things. And that's one of the things I'm going to get to in the next segment, as well as Michael and Anthony. So that being said, that's our vision, very laser focused. We have to sometimes branch around that for other things that are needed to do more than just the backup. But I want to also kind of give you 3 characteristics that matter. This comes right from our CTO, right from our CEO, and right from our founders about having products that are simple, reliable, and flexible. I think that's very important today. We live in a world of complex products, and nobody really wants to actively choose that. So when it comes to something as important as backup, I like to say that it's the insurance policy you never want to cash. We want to have especially the reliability. We need to have that. Flexible, things are changing today. I do have the word software defined here. If anybody, luckily nobody has anything that would be able to be thrown and make me get hurt. But that is kind of a buzzword. But I'm going to go into something in my next segment that'll really kind of take that software defined to a very practical element. And it's actually not even a new technology, believe it or not. But simple, that's another thing that drives kind of everything from our product usage. I like to say that nothing in Veeam is more than just a few clicks of a wizard. And Veeam was too complex, I think, said no one ever. So those are characteristics that matter for our products. And those of you who have used it, whether online or here in the room, would probably agree with those. And then as we set up the rest of our time here today, I want to introduce to you this notion of the Veeam Availability Platform. And this is our kind of product strategy encompassed in a visual. And the thought here is that at the heart of it all is backup and replication. So backup and restore, replication and failover. That's the fundamental promise of what we deliver. And we build on that. We build some monitoring around that. We enable more of that through APIs. We provide data labs, which is an interesting use case, not going to be covered today, but things like using your data, reusing your data in new ways, kind of a very powerful angle that backup can do. And we want to go tackle the virtual, physical, cloud, and SaaS type of products. Today, we have a number of products that go out to that. Most of the topic we're going to cover today is backup and replication, in particular to Veeam products. But the thought here is that all of these different products really align to our flagship product, Veeam Backup and Replication and Veeam One, both of which Anthony, Michael, and myself will cover today. That is what we collectively call the suite. So that's our product overview, our company overview, but what we've got for you today.
Can I ask you, so
Yeah, sure.
Veeam One is more infrastructure, not backup analytics.
It's both. Good question, Enrico. So the question is Veeam One more infrastructure or more backup monitoring? So it was born as an infrastructure monitoring tool. You know, where is your CPU latency? Where's the memory pressure? Which virtual machines are transmitting a ridiculous amount of network traffic? Okay, we can answer those questions today for sure. But I think around version 6 or 7, we actually implemented a whole new set of logic to that product around monitoring the backup infrastructure. Now, I'm not saying that it needs to be monitoring the backup infrastructure because it's cumbersome, but because maybe it's an opportunity to answer some key questions like who's restoring what data. That's actually a very important question, and why. What VMs are backed up? What physical servers are not backed up? Questions like that. So it actually has encompassed both, Enrico. Good question.